after a couple months and I'd gone through the periods of depression and sadness and all that, I basically woke up and I said that I want to be as independent as I can get. When you start really talking to other people about how they're dealing with it, and that's when you know you're starting to really recover. Then you start taking control of your own life again, and it takes a while to do that.
The support of his family and friends, his rehabilitation process, and Zoli's determination and courage to move beyond the initial devastation of his injury all contributed to the independence and freedom he experiences today. Perhaps one of the most symbolic forms of freedom is the ability to drive again.
I learned to drive at the Rehab Institute, and when I purchased my van, I said, I'm going to drive this. I don't need anybody else to drive me around. When I learned how to drive at first, it was a somewhat traumatic experience because you're not sure if you're going to drive into a tree or hurt somebody else or hurt yourself. And at the Rehab Institute, they had a driving instructor who was there, and he was calm and he was reassuring, and he helped me out.
The van's lift can be operated from both inside and outside controls. The outside controls are located on a panel near the rear of the van that can be locked. Lifts are either mechanically or hydraulically controlled. With hand controls for braking and accelerating, and a special device to keep his hand in place on the steering wheel, Zoli maintains full control of his van without the use of his legs.
It took a while to build up confidence. It just took a certain amount of time before you're really confident in what you do.
The road to independence has been one of challenge and growth. And for Zoli Harway, the best is yet to come.
Accident. We call it the road to recovery. Zoli Harway grew up like any other kid in San Luis Obispo, full of life, with big hopes and dreams of what he would do when he was big. But Zoli never planned on a skiing accident at age 19 and never imagined himself paralyzed for life.
My injury occurred when it's just the end of the season, end of the day, one of those times you're supposed to be real careful because you're all tired and you're not really thinking very clearly.
Zoli went off a jump and came down on his head. A fractured fifth cervical vertebrae left him quadriplegic or paralyzed from the chest down.
I really didn't understand at that point. I was still in bed going, well, okay, I'll probably walk out of this in 6 months or something like that. Just, not really realizing what a serious injury you have.
Zoli spent 6 months at the Rehabilitation Institute in Santa Barbara, coming to terms with his condition and learning new ways to complete everyday tasks he used to take for granted. He did so well, the Rehab Institute made an instructive videotape using Zoli as their star.
When you're taking a shower, it's important to keep most of your surfaces dry, which will keep you from sliding off into the floor and basically hurting yourself. When I first started out, it took hours to get my pants off and hours to get dressed, and I spent that time, and now I've got it down to 20-25 minutes. I really feel that I was really extra motivated just to get out and do my own thing. Wait, I want bologna, man.
All right, well, get it out.
I am.
6 years later, Zoli is doing his own thing, living in San Luis Obispo with a good friend from high school.
I would have to say Zoli is probably one of the strongest people I know. He's adjusted so well that it's hard for me to picture him the way he was before his accident, because he is such a different person, I think, now than he ever was.
Independence is very important to Zoli. Relearning to drive an especially designed van was a big step in regaining control of his life. Behind the wheel, Zoli's only limited by how much gas is in his tank.
There's so many opportunities and so many things that you can do with yourself and people to meet and things to see and places to go. Why let a thing like this try and stop you?
There is no stopping Zoli. In fact, it's hard to keep up with him. In his 4th year at Cal Poly, Zoli is studying industrial technology with a concentration in sales. He wants no special treatment and gets none. But make no mistake, Zoli Harway is special. Not because of his physical condition, but because of what's inside.
I feel that if I can share my experiences with other people and maybe get people to think that, okay, I've got a disability, but maybe it's not so bad, then I figure I've helped other people.
He certainly helped me understand disabled people better. Zoli's positive spirit has touched a lot of people. He's also helped other disabled people in San Luis Obispo. He convinced a local bank to lower its ATM machine to make it wheelchair accessible, and he's also worked with the administration at Cal Poly to make on-campus dorms better able to accommodate disabled students.
I think a story like that, a person like that, has something to teach all of us. One wonders, if I were in that situation, would I have that kind of courage that's so obvious on his face and that real spunk and that
so
smile.
Much spirit. He's an incredible guy and a lot of fun to be around, too. We had a great time doing this story. Yeah, and tomorrow night I'm going to introduce you to another inspirational person on the Central Coast. Some of you may recognize his voice. He's a well-known broadcaster who's overcome a host of medical problems, and his story is up tomorrow night.
Okay. Thank you, Mary.
Shoulder. And here we go. Ready, set, arch, swing, thumbs up. That means open up those arms. When we open our arms, we want about 90 degrees in the elbow, about 90 degrees in the armpit. You can imagine you're flossing your brain right through here. that works real good. Arms up. Cool. Anyway, and smile at the camera. Now, while we're skydiving, even think about grabbing a hold of your instructor's hand. Okay. You got a ripcord, your instructor has a ripcord. We're all holding hands on the skydive. Who can pull our ripcord? Guess what? Your instructor will. That's the wrong answer right there. Coming in for a landing with a little forward speed. You put your feet down, guess what? We eat dirt on your bed. And let's get those feet out in front of us just like this. We're ready. Flare, flare, flare. Nice and smooth all the way to your shoulders. And then finish up here in your lap. We want to finish up inside so we don't skin your knuckles as we sit that landing down. Put your right foot up in there. We can help you out a little bit like this. Just keep those feet from hitting that. And we're ready. Flare, flare, flare all the way down. Cool. And we'll be able to rehearse this as we're flying the parachute around a couple of times. Here's what your instructor is going to do to try and help us become more aerodynamic. So out. We're going to go jump out of an airplane.
Hey!
Stay there. All right, so we're in. Woo! Ow! Bye! Buddy. Yeah! Oh, I don't have a thumb, dude. What am I going to do with that? please. Thank you. All right. Next to the tractor on the right side. Chair lock? Yeah. Good. There you go. Did his feet get stuck on top? Yeah, got put on the wheelchair. Okay.
You made it. That was amazing.
Spin in.
just